did it correctly. You just need your units. C and Q. And what's the name of the shape? You put the name there. Alright, so part A is a completion is out of both parts. It's a cone, but how do we find its volume? So that's good. So sorry, parts A and B. So you're doing number 1, Shawnee's. All of it. A and B. Alright, who wants to do part B for Shawnee's? I just meant the whole question.
You didn't do it?
I said A.
I misread.
You didn't do B?
She misplaced her paper. You probably need to grab a new copy. Grab a new copy. Shape of the base is a circle. Choose this
What
one.
did I say for 1A? It said
Cone, and she signed her signature. she customized it. She copyrighted it. I'm gonna just remind you, she rounded and she got, based on her rounding of 1/3 being 0.333, she got 207.24. But she's forgetting something. What are you forgetting?
By centimeters.
Your units, good. And we're finding volume, so it's not just centimeters. Nope. Volume.
How many things?
Volume.
3?
Cubic, yes. Volume is measured in cubic units. If you got 209 point something instead of 207, it's based on a rounding. Really, I use the entire number. Remember on your calculator when you do 1 divided by 3 is 0.33 and it keeps repeating. Keep that long answer. Don't just write 0.33. That gives you a more accurate answer than when you round, which is what she did. So she's not incorrect, but 209 is a more accurate answer. 209.3 than 207.3, and it's only based on what you rounded your 1/3 as. It also may vary by what you use for CAD. Do you use 3.14 or did you use something else? All right, part 2. We didn't get 100% correct response of part 2 either. So, Aijane, was that one yours? Come on up. Let's go ahead and erase. And who wants to do the equation, part 3? Equation of a circle. Can you do that one for me? Double check. She did her 1/3 area of base times height, and the paper weight happens to have a square base with 3 by 3 inches. So that is why she did 3 by 3, and then she times it by the height. Then she took 1/3 of her answer. So it's 1/3 area of base times height. So you need to remember that mentally. That one is on your part reference sheet. So if you don't see it, just remember the letter B stands for area of base, and not just the base, the number for one measurement from the base, but the entire area, length times width, or pi or square, or half base, whatever shape the base is, you find that area. All right, Mr. Advent is gonna write the equation of the circle, which is centered at 9, -6, and has a radius of 10. Write it right at the bottom. Go ahead, write it at below the equation, below the question. Okay, he's writing out his rule, very good. Mr. Allen's correct? Is he correct? X minus 9 squared plus y plus 6 squared is equal to 100. Is he correct? Yes. You did remember to change his sign on the second one, negative. Subtract a negative becomes an addition. If you did not have these two answers correct, take 30 seconds to write it down on your warm-up sheet. Remember, you get an effort credit, a classwork credit at the end of the week for your daily warm-ups. See, two still writing. Got it? All right. Okay. So that takes us to the end of that section. Unfortunately, we spent too long on it. Remember, park is timed, so we have to make an effort to make sure that we are pacing ourselves, not spending too many minutes on the same question. If you're having difficulty with a particular question, skip it and move on. If you have time, go back. That's your test-taking tip for the day. Having difficulty, skip it. Flag it. You have the option to flag it so you can go back to it. All right. So what's on our agenda for today? Who would like to read the objective and the agenda?
Scholars will apply geometry knowledge and skills to review for the practice assessment.
Again, loud and proud.
Say it.
Read it again, please.
Scholars will apply geometry knowledge and skills to review for the practice assessment.
Exactly. How are we going to do that? That's the agenda. Who wants to go through our agenda? All right, so we started with warm up plus the time to check, and that was 6 minutes. We're going to get ready now for a Jeopardy game, which we started yesterday, and we're going to complete the review Jeopardy today. So if you played yesterday, you're already on a team. So it's one of these three, Triple J, CIS, or DNK. If you were not here yesterday, you're going to start the fourth team, which is what we didn't have. So basically, Leonie and London and anybody else who comes in here after will be in that fourth group. So we have groups of 3, and then you will start off with 2, and then we can add more people as they come. All right? And we're going to play the game. We're going to have our winner if we finish all the rounds in the game. And at the end of the day, we're going to do our exit ticket, which is one of the power question of the day questions. And that's it. Friendly reminder, homework was due yesterday. If you didn't turn it in, you lost 10 points. But you can still turn it in for up to 90%. You lose 10% every day. After 3 days, that's it. You get a not submitted. Okay? All right. So get with your teams, and you need materials. So we need scratch paper, because when we have the double jeopardy questions, you write your answers down and hold it up in your groups. So you guys need to get together. You need to name your team. What do you want to call yourselves? And it just has to be clean, since it's school. So you see we have Triple J, we have CIS, and we have DNK. They thought of using their initials, but in other classes you see X Squad and Group 3 and Final Group and DKY and whatever, and Max. So you can decide what you want to call yourself. We have 2 minutes to get ready, so you need to tell us that, what your name is, or names, and then you're going to go ahead. I'm going to make sure everybody has their scratch paper, because remember, this is, even though it's a game, it's a learning exercise. So at the end of it, when the answer is revealed, please have me pause and you write down information if you need to. All the answers have explanations. So if you need to write it down or you need an extra moment to read it, please say that, okay? So get with your teams. I want you to look like teams now, not just lounging about on your own. You get 2 as well. You get 2. Please sit with Leonie so you all can be team members. Who was your partner? Who were your partners? Okay. And you 2, you had who else with you? Ozzy. Come up, Ozzy. Shemaya isn't here. I think she went on that field trip. Come up, Ozzy, so I can distinguish the team. So we have Triple J, CIS, DNK, and what are you calling yourselves? Gonna use your initial? London and Leonie? L squared? Double L's? Alright. We're gonna use that. Is that okay with you? L squared? You good? Alright. Now, unfortunately, L squared didn't have points from yesterday, which is a bit unfair. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna give them as much as C. So I'm gonna give you some bonus points to start off, so you're not starting off at 0. About that. So I'm gonna be fair, and since the lowest score is 50, I'm gonna give you 40.
Right.
Think 20? 20?
No,
40.
no.
I'll give you 40 to start off with. So bonus 40.
Do not bring that name up.
Okay. There we go. L squared. 40 bonus. Alright. So I need since this class is pretty small, we won't appoint a person to click and the scorekeeper, Miss P and I can take care of those. And then you all just play. So you need your formula sheet. Remember, the first 2 pages have all the formulas that you need to be studying. So while we're doing this activity, when you have your 30 seconds to think up your question, you can look up the rules for like reflection or rotation or stuff like that. You can look up your SOHCAHTOA, your trigonometric rules. You know the categories, those will remain the same. Once I click on you, today you get to pick the category and the money and how much for how much, because it is working, or it was working. I don't hope that's not jinx it. And then for that section, once you do that, we can always go on give you your points based off that. Now, are there any questions as to how the game is played? No, because we're gonna continue. Those who weren't here yesterday, basically you asked. Yesterday you didn't get to ask. I had to just pick one for you. Today you're gonna get to pick a category from the Jeopardy and the amount. We click on it, it reveals the question. After the question is revealed, I read it through for you just in case. Then you have 30 seconds within which to come up with an answer. After the 30 seconds, you're expected to answer. The questions don't pass to the next team. Only in the when there's a double Jeopardy question. At the 5th question, each 5th question is going to be doubled, and everybody gets a chance to answer that question. For that question, you're not going to say the answer. You're going to write it down on one of those sheets. So let's say your answer is B. You're going to write B, and you're going to, when you're asked to, hold it up. Don't let your peers see the other groups cheat off you. So you want to make sure that you're the winner. All right? So now that the directions are cleared, and let me set my 30-second timer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You got principal. Oh, like that.
All right. So just remind me. I know from time to time I'll forget to click the 30 seconds. So those are the categories that we have, and if there are no glitches, if I go to slideshow and I go to view and I go reading view, it worked this morning. Fingers crossed. So we're gonna go in the same order that your names are on the board. Triple J, Sis, D and K, then L squared. Alright? That will help us to keep pace who is next so that it's easier for me with the scoring and Miss V. Alright. So we're gonna start off with these categories. What's that there? The categories are congruence, similarity, trigonometry, 2D and 3D figures, and construction. So you're gonna pick your category, we'll click, you'll see your question, you have 30 seconds to answer. So Triple J, it's your turn. Where do you wanna start? Yes, twins. Triple J?
That's not Triple J.
That's it, right.
Who's Triple J? Oh, Triple J, I'm sorry.
Trigonometry 20.
Trigonometry 20. Oh.